AI is already disrupting the workforce. It's already disrupting employment in the United States as well as globally. So I'm going to address this and talk about some different aspects associated with it. We're going to be reacting to a news broadcast that was recently shown on TV. This deals specifically with Detroit, but you can see how this can be also expanded to places throughout the world, especially in the United States, but it's going to be hitting all other countries as well. So we're going to look at it and think about this in the form of, well, what is academia doing about this? And then what are some other things that we need to think about on larger scale as well?
Artificial intelligence already is having a major impact on the labor force, and several indicators show that more drastic changes could be ahead.
Yeah, that's right. Here at home, a recent study found that the workforce in Detroit is the 9th most threatened in the nation when it comes down to the number of potential job losses due to AI. The study by the website chamberofcommercedot.org says that 14% of Detroit jobs could be lost due to AI, and that's roughly 260,000 jobs total. And this morning, Nick Monticelli tells us which industries are already getting disrupted and why women could be impacted the most.
Is artificial intelligence coming for your job? There are growing signs that AI is already disrupting the global workforce, and experts say it's just the beginning.
There are people who will learn to use AI, and they will take your job because they will become significantly more productive than you will be if you're not able to partner with an AI model.
That right there is a key thing for us to understand, and a key thing that then helps us to think about AI literacy and why it's so important. So it's not that just the AI is going to overtake your job, it's that the people that are going to be able to continue to succeed in the workforce are those that can work well with the AI. So if I'm a graduate from a university and I go and they're already using AI, but I didn't get properly trained at my university on how to work with AI, well, then I'm not going to be competitive at all. I'm not going to be the one getting hired. I'm going to be the one that's being replaced. So it's important to really think this through, in that this is an imperative. AI literacy isn't just a nice to have, a nicety, right? This is going to be something that's going to be required, and employer isn't even going to want to look at you unless you already have these skills. So it's that much more important for us to really push at that. Now, what type of jobs are we talking about? Well, let's see what the news agency says.
Goldman Sachs economists predicting 300 million full-time jobs could be affected by the latest wave of AI, which has created platforms like ChatGPT. A new analysis estimates nearly 80% of women could be disproportionately affected by the adoption of AI. That's compared to 58% of working men, according to research from the University of North Carolina.
The world has changed. These are new tools. You can't fear them. You just have to learn to use them.
All that is already impacting nearly every industry, from art and music, where AI-generated songs are more affordable since there's no producer, composer, or artist to pay.
It's taken away opportunity from songwriters, producers, and artists, right? So the people are trying to feed them, their families.
The manufacturing sector also seeing an impact. And then there's fast food, where AI is already ready to take your order.
Classic or bacon barbecue Mother Cruncher.
Places like Checkers restaurants in Iowa are already using AI for their drive-through window.
Whatever the guest says, it will react to that. It's crazy, and they'll just start a conversation.
I'm Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
This is mind-bending stuff. And meanwhile, the World Economic Forum predicts that by 2025, 85 million jobs may be displaced by automation and technology.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Also, that same study was mentioned earlier. It says that Detroit, cashiers, retail salespeople, and customer service representatives are the 3 most at-risk jobs.
So there, the examples are pretty much everything from manufacturing to farming to fast food, all these other industries. And it's, according to their calculations, females will be even more affected. So again, that deals with the type of jobs being done. And it's really interesting here, the example that they showed there with fast food, it's going to happen regardless of whether we want it to or not. And here's an example of that. I would much prefer going in and talking to a real person as opposed to an AI just to do my food order, right? So that's my mentality, and that's what I believe. I still believe that. And yet, just the other day, I went to a fast food place. It was a Kentucky Fried Chicken here where I live, and they have a standalone, basically an automatic AI menu that you can talk to, and it'll take your order, and it's really cool and everything. But I don't use that. I go straight to the real person. But when I went there, there was a huge line to talk to a real person to give the order. I look over and the automated system was completely open. So what do I value? Well, I value my time much more than anything else, so I can spend it with my family because I had my family with me. So instead of going to talk to the real person, I went to the AI version, to the automated version, and did it. And I saved myself so much time so that I could spend it with my family. So even though this is what I want to talk to a real person, I use the automated version because it saved me time. So this is what's going to happen in that, even though we might have certain preferences, being able to save time, being able to save money, that's going to win out in the end. So things are going to become much more automated. It just is. And so that means AI is going to be used more, and that means some people will lose their jobs. It won't be a complete overtake, but there is going to be significant amount of job loss. So it's going to be that much more important for us to really focus within academia at all levels to prepare students for the realities of an AI-driven world. So that means they need to know how to use different AIs. They need to know what are the capabilities. They need to have this prompt engineering skills. They need to know critical thinking. They need to know the ethics associated with it in order to use the AI properly, in order to understand the different types of AI, and to use whichever one will work best within a business. Not just to be sort of reactive to things, but to be proactive, to be able to look at the business, critically think, creatively think, and say, hey, boss, this is how we can incorporate this AI in order to be more efficient, in order to maximize the capabilities of what's out there. These are key things that we have to really understand and then push for within academia. Now, there has been several different news reports talking about, well, this is really happening to higher level jobs, like music producers or other things that are high level, as opposed to what we were thinking were the manual jobs. Guess what? That's not really true either. It's going to happen at the lower level and at the middle level and at the higher level. Here's an example of a robot that's doing things at the lower level. As robot capability quickly is catching up with AI capability, the robots will be able to do anything and everything. So as that happens and AI is way up here as far as its capabilities, once those two meet, oh wow, there's really no stopping it into what it can do as far as all sorts of manual labor type jobs. So there's robots out there that can clean the toilets just like they show, to clean the bathrooms. There's even robots in manufacturing that's been going on for a while, but even robots in farming that can pick apples, pick fruit. So again, this is happening at every single level. So it becomes an imperative for us in academia to push for the integration of AI literacy throughout the curriculum so that we can ensure that we are making the best students possible, to setting them up for success as much as possible. That's what we really have to do in order to be relevant in this world filled with AI. And remember, learning is for life.